Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Friday, September 12th. I am Nick Eatman. Let's do this. Let's wrap up this week in a great way. See if we can send us off to the Cowboys-Giants game on Sunday. Got positive vibes. Of course, Cowboys. It's funny. I've been hearing about overconfident and are they looking past the Giants? It's like this team's 7-10 last year. Didn't make the playoffs. Didn't win a game in the first week of the season. Head coach hasn't got a win. I don't think they could be overconfident. I really don't. I mean, I get the fans might be. I don't think this team is going to be. The point spread doesn't look overconfident. It's what 5.5. I mean, for a home game. I mean, this could be a tough game. I think the Cowboys are I think a lot of fans look at it from the Giants like, oh, the Giants don't beat Dak and they don't beat the. Well, I think it's going to be a challenge. I had a hard time with my gut feeling pick because I was like, I could see a 20-point blowout. I've seen this game. I could see it really close. Kind of went somewhere in the middle there. And I looking at some of the fans that have sent their scores in over the last few days. It looks, like the Cowboys are going to run away with it. But we'll see. We'll see what some of these scores look like today. All right, 888-855-2297 is the number to call. And the text line, let's don't forget that. We had a few texts yesterday. That's still alive and kicking, 817-290-3298. Let's start us off. Let's go to Chris, Saratoga Springs, New York. What's up?
Happy Friday, Nick.
All right. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm glad it's Friday for sure.
Yeah.
Long week. Ready for this second week of the football season. Let's go Cowboys.
Let's do it. What do you got?
Couple comments.
Okay.
Something Parsons said after the game about let me be me and I'm happy. Well,
Dude.
If they let him just rush the quarterback all the time and that's all he does, of course he's going to be happy. For me, personally, I think he cares more about the sacks and just rushing the quarterback than he does about the whole game. Players like Myles Garrett, Hutchinson, Bosa, I can go down with a couple more. They play. They're not only pass rushers. They're helping against the run. They're doing all sorts of other things. They're not just worried about one thing and one thing only. So that was my little tidbit about that comment. I didn't really care for it, to be honest with you.
Well, and not to be rude or sarcastic to you, but I really wanted to say, and I am going to say, is you think maybe he cares about the sacks only? I mean, I've seen this guy. I told the story the other day. I've seen this guy walk off the field his rookie year after an overtime win in New England, and he was pouting like a little kid at Toys R Us because he didn't get a sack, even though this team won a big game. Outstanding player, outstanding pass rusher, but Micah cares about Micah, number one, and that's always been the case. And I'm not sitting here and saying I'm not going to try to trash the guy or whatever. I saw the interview. I'm glad I had already eaten because I wouldn't have eaten after that. I mean, that it's disgusting to me. But he's an outstanding player, and watching him play and how much he kicks ass out there. It sucks. I guarantee as a Cowboy fan, you're like, this sucks that he's not doing this for the Cowboys because I'm watching it right now. He's an absolute beast. But that's me, that's where it ends. Because when he goes and talks and all that, I'm like, eye roll.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I watched that game last night. Man, Green Bay's defense looks really good.
Yeah.
Those linebackers, Walker and Cooper, kind of remind me of Overshawn. They got two of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about Green Bay's defense. I would like Dallas. I said this the last time I was on. To pass their tight ends a little bit more. Ferguson needs to be involved. I know we had a couple passes to him, but if you see what Green Bay did last night with their tight end, he was a monster last night, and it opens up everything. So I would like to see a little bit more of that. And lastly, I watched the game film again. Pickens got to do a little bit better job blocking. I know that guy called the other day and was like, blocking doesn't matter for receivers. It does. So I'd just like to see a little bit more effort out of him. And I do think we will get it once he gets a little bit more involved into the game. I think he'll get a little bit more effort, but I'd like to see just a little bit better, a little bit more effort out of him with the blocking aspect of it.
All right.
And that's all I got.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. Chris, let's keep it going. Let me just say this, though. I mean, I always feel like I have to qualify it. I hated the fact that they traded Micah Parsons. I hated it, because I thought they could get it done. I thought he would get it done. And I know I've heard people for years in the building say, God, get rid of this guy, get rid of this guy. And every time I watch him play, I'm like, you sure about that? Like, we sure want to get rid of this guy? And so what I saw the other day, it's like, man, sucks that it didn't work out. But listening to him talk and some of the things that he says and all that kind of stuff is kind of it's whatever, because he's playing the game. He's playing the game. Where it's real is when he's rushing the passer and all that. That's real. That's real. You can see it. Everyone sees that. Everything else, I don't know what's real and what isn't real. All right, let's go to Zach in Germany. What's up, Zach?
Nick, how are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. I had another topic I want to talk about, but I just want to hit on what you just mentioned with Micah. I think a couple of different perspectives. Anytime you're going to pay somebody that amount of money, and for us, we would have had 3 players taking almost half our budget. You have to hit on that.
Get ready for,
and I can understand.
Get ready for a fourth. I'm just letting you know. They're going to pay it. They're going to pay a guard pretty soon. That's going to be right up there. So yeah, go ahead though.
No doubt on that. No. I mean, you're right, and that's a need too. And there's other needs, and I think Micah wasn't checking every block that they wanted, and he's just built a little different. But I think it was the right call personally. Not for his off the field issues, but like when you look at on the field, yeah, we're going to miss that caliber player, but It's really hard to get your return on investment, irregardless, when you're paying somebody, $40 million a year. You can always justify it and say, well, maybe I'd rather have 3-4 good players, but
right.
Neither here nor there. The real reason I wanted to call, I want to talk about the Tower of Tylers. This is my perspective on the offensive line. In the order, I want to see if you agree. Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker, Tyler Beebe, Tyler Guyton, and then Tyler Steele. Just make it easy. Give them all the T.
Okay. I was like, where are we going?
The real, yeah. No, I think it's funny having these guys, but just rename them all. We'll just keep drafting Tylers. But do you think next year Terrence Steele is going to still be a part of this thing, or do you think we go back to the well?
He's going to have to change his name to Tyler. I mean, if he does that, then I think they'll keep him. But no, I'm kidding. I don't know. I've never been too hard on him. I think he's a pretty good player, and he's coming back from injury. If they can run the football the way that Shoddy says they're going to run it, then I think he fits in perfectly for what they're doing. If you're going to throw the ball around the yard, 40, 50 times, I don't know if that's his best thing. But if they get into situations where they really want to run the ball and they have a team where they can run it in the second half, fourth quarter, I think he's built perfectly for that. So I kind of feel like that the way you see Clayton Adams and them, the offensive line want to be a violent, physical line, I think he could be a really good fit for you. So I kind of see him still a part of it. I do.
Good point.
All
Last
right.
thing before I let you go.
Yeah.
Prediction, 27-17, Cowboys take the win. I would like to see more Pickens, more Turpin, and preferably sit Miles, play Blue. I'll hang up. Have a great weekend, Nick.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Good stuff. Let's go. Let's keep the text line going here. We got Irene. She can do it all. She can call. She can be the mom of the group. She can do the texting. She's everywhere. So, all right, she's going to start us off with the text line. She says she's going to keep it simple. She's got Cowboys beating the Giants, 34-24. Trayvon gets a pick six, hold up his fingers with a 5 and a couple of zeros. Cowboys hold the tiebreaker against the Packers after week 4. All right, that's the predictions there. Got the Cowboys getting a win there. Let's go to another one here. Dan in Philly. Is it crazy to think this is a must-win game this early in the season? That's a really good point. and it's not crazy because it is. I mean, it is must win. You can't go 0-2. You can't. He says it'll get ugly if they go 0-2. I believe the Cowboys will win. It'll be a lot closer than people think. Cowboys pull away 31-21. So another 10-point win there. Let's go to a phone line here. Josh in Princeton. Josh, you're becoming a regular here. I like it. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been listening to Storyline since your first ever show. But I'm always the type to listen on demand when I'm driving home.
Okay.
And so I never knew what time the show came on. I never looked into it. So now that I know you're on at 10, I can call in.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. You've got that secret sauce. You've done it like what, maybe 3 in a row here. So
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Today I want to talk about Brian Schottenheimer.
Okay.
So one of my best friends is a longtime Rams fan.
Okay.
And he hated Brian Schottenheimer as an offensive coordinator when he was there. And, you know, he always complained about the offense being stale. And to make a long story short, my view on Brian Schottenheimer has been tainted because of him.
Yeah.
And so when they announced that, you know, he was going to be the coach, you know, I wasn't sold on it. You know, wasn't very optimistic at all, you know. But I can say the first game, I'm not going to say it changed my mind, but it's the first step to, you know, me having a more optimistic outlook because I guess people can change. And, you know, he seemed like he called a great game, an aggressive game with the passing game for sure. And I don't remember that, you know, during his time with the Rams. I didn't follow him when he was at Seattle, but, you know, hopefully, you know, we can capitalize, you know, Sunday and get a win.
Yeah.
And the offense is great. I think it'll be a competitive first half, and then the Cowboys will pull away in the second half. And so, you know, each week, hopefully, Brian Schottenheimer can continue to build my confidence in him.
All right. I think that's a good point, and I think, you know, I was trying to look up as you were talking about that. And Josh, thanks for the call. We're going to keep it rolling. But thank you for that point. And, you know, a lot of times as an offensive coordinator, I mean, you're tied to the quarterback. I mean, right? I mean, that's what it is. And so I was kind of looking that up to see, like, well, you know, he's been a coordinator at different places, and some it's worked out, some it didn't. You know, I think when he was with the Jets, he had Mark Sanchez, who was good. You know, he had a good couple of years early in his career, and then with the Rams, it looked like it was Sam Bradford, and Bradford got hurt in one of those seasons, and that changed some things. And you know, I mean, when he had Russell Wilson, I mean, they had some success. So, you know, where you put Dak and all that is up to you. Everyone's got their different opinion. But I think, you know, Dak Prescott, 10th year Dak Prescott, if it's just one game, but, you know, he looked better the other night. And I think we all saw that. He was dealing. I mean, he had the ball exactly where it needed to go. We'll see if he can continue to do that. But, you know, I always think about Romo talking about later in his career how it took 9-10th season before he figured out certain throws and all that. It takes some time. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't have success early, but you learn as you go if that's the kind of player you want to be. And so all I'm saying is that I think everybody grows. Offensive coordinators grow too. So, you know, here he is. He's getting another chance. He's getting a quarterback at you know, in his prime for quarterbacks. So, you know, maybe this is going to be a great fit. Rick in Webster, Massachusetts is next. Rick?
Hey, Nick.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What you got?
First of all, prediction. I'm going to say Cowboys 30, Giants 10.
Okay.
I'm going to say keep Eberflus keep up with the defense calls and stuff like that, especially in the second half. He needs to make any changes. And I heard that the FL's going to play more snaps.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think that's kind of the plan. But then again, coaches aren't going to tell you anything like that. It's just kind of, I think people kind of get the sense that that's going to happen. But I don't think they're going to come out and just necessarily say that. But I do think he's supposed to play a little bit more.
Okay, thank you, and have a good day.
All right, Rick, thanks. Appreciate it. Unless there was some report somewhere that I didn't see that, I'm kind of going off of, every coach is going to say, yeah, we'd like to get him involved. Yeah, we want to get him, on the field more, just like they want to get Turpin the ball more on offense and Pickens and all that kind of stuff. See how it flows in the game. I didn't notice great plays from the linebackers, but I wasn't overly critical of them either. And I just kind of know the beast of what the Eagles offense is. And so I want to see them in this game. I think Sanborn and Kenneth Murray are going to be really good players for this defense. And so we'll see how it goes here against the Giants. I have this feeling we're going to be talking about the linebackers on Monday in a much more positive light. I think Murray, Sanborn, Leafau, Damone Clark, and then just waiting on Overshown too. But I think on Monday we'll be talking about the linebackers a lot much better. All right, Terry in Amarillo's on the text line. His question is Russell Wilson still the threat he was in Seattle? I know he's older, but how do you think he'll do against the defense? Is he still the threat he was in Seattle? No, probably not. He's older, like you said. But one thing that Shoddy talked about is he said he's pretty much the best deep ball thrower he's ever been around. And it didn't matter who. It didn't matter if it was to a Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf or whoever, that he just knows how to put touch on the ball. Now, that's a scary play, obviously, because you can score quickly with that. And if you have a coverage bust, especially the way the Cowboys are playing a cornerback, having an injury in Deron Bland. And so you're going to play Diggs and Elam. And then it looks like maybe Reddy Stewart is going to play some in the slot. Maybe Zion Childress gets in there or Elijah Clark off the practice squad. Either way, there's going to be mismatches out there. And the guy that I'm looking at, too, like I was looking at some stats on this Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, last year it was pretty interesting. You realize that Robinson he averaged about 7 targets a game. And one game he had 14 targets, and that was against the Cowboys early in the season. And one game he had 2 targets, and that was also against the Cowboys later in the year. They definitely shut that down. And so, but he's averaging about 7 or 8, and he had 6. I think he had 8 targets the other day, and so in game 1. But opposite of Neighbors, I mean, he's another shifty player. So, anyways, the question about Russell Wilson, does he still have it? Yeah, I'm sure he still can be dangerous, if you will. But I think that you've got to get him one-dimensional. Stop the run. Make that absolutely, a non-factor. Put all of the pressure on him, and then I think that the Cowboys should be in good shape. But if you're going to give him time to sit there and make some plays on the run and throw the ball deep, yeah, he can hurt you. All right, let's go Lester in Minnesota. I'm sorry. Nico in Colorado Springs. I missed that one. Nico, Colorado Springs.
Hey, what's up, Nick? How about that? How about them Cowboys?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Actually, what I'm doing right now is my new job. I told you I switched careers from law enforcement to trash. And ironically, our cans are blue. So I'm taking out the trash early, and I hope the Cowboys do the same thing Sunday. See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. So, I'm not a big fan of Brian Schottenheimer until he shows me. So I'm going to continue to call him Yes Man. But I do believe the Yes Man gets his first win this season, this weekend.
Hold on. Why is he a Yes Man? Like, what? Why would you say Yes Man?
We had this talk one time on here. I believe wholeheartedly Jerry Jones did not do a thorough coaching job search. I really don't. I believe Jerry just did Jerry typical things. This is all about me. Look at me. Reminds me of Micah Parsons. All about me. Look at me. That's Jerry Jones for you. I'm sorry. Just until we win something again, everything that Jerry Jones does is only about Jerry Jones. That's just my stance. You could have gotten a better coach. That's all I got. But on top of that, this is what's funny and ironic. The last time I called you, I said, Jerry, please be the Jerry Jones of that documentary. Do something. do something big, do something, get wild. And then we let go Micah. And I was really upset, but I'm looking at it now. The selfishness, like you said, Nick, is just, this is a team sport. Good riddance. Bye. You know what? You thank you, Jerry, is what they said. You got it. So hopefully you're going to not do anything to us on week 4. But I truly believe Cowboys are going to win this game. I'm going to go 27-17. But my call for you is, could you give us an update on Demo? And I'll take the question off air. Let's get rowdy. Let's go, Cowboys.
All right. Thanks for the call. Yeah, we'll see if Schottenheimer can change some opinions. For the most part, I think a lot of fans have like what they see at him. I mean, you lost the game to the Eagles. I mean, that happens, and then they look like they're one of the top teams again, just like they won the Super Bowl last year. And so it's early. All we have is one game to go off of. Did it look better? It did. It looked better. The result wasn't. I mean, he still lost, but it looks better. So let's see if it looks even better this week and all that moving forward. As far as, was it Overshown? You think he wanted an Overshown update? Chris, are you? Is that what
Yeah, a Demo update.
Demo update. Sorry. Trying to do like 4 or 5 things here. Chris is trying to do 12, so he's the man and he figured it out. The thing about it is, we get a chance to see the injured players kind of rehabbing there in the time at practice, and he's in that group with Josh Butler, and he is on PUP, so it doesn't really. I mean, he could be ready to go. It doesn't matter. He cannot. He's not eligible to play until after the 4 games. So after the Green Bay game, the Cowboys could start his window, and I think you guys would know the rules when it comes to that. As far as the update goes, all you have to go off of is kind of what we see, and there's no brace. He's looking pretty good. He's not. I don't see a lot of running, but that again doesn't mean he's not doing it. Just not what they're showing. I don't see a lot of straight line running. Just a lot of this agility drill side to side. And he looks good. It's good bounce, and I feel like it's a situation of, I don't think he would be like playing in that first game afterwards at the Jets. I just have this feeling, and this is just gut feeling. I think by the Jets in Carolina in early October, I think they could start the window. And, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he plays at Washington on the 19th or maybe Denver the 26th. I feel like he will play, that he could play before the bye, which is on November 9th. Now, it would make sense to just kind of go all the way through that with the bye week and then come back for the Raiders on the 17th. But I think he can get there earlier than that. That's just my take on it. Let's go to break real quick on Cowboys storyline. Be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the...
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days, presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets at AT&Tstadium.com/Rally Days. That'll be tomorrow, September 13th. Cowboys-Giants game is on Sunday. The Rally Day is at AT&T Stadium on Saturday. Okay, back here on Cowboys Storyline. We've got phone lines are full. That's a good thing. So let's get to it. Lester in Minnesota's been holding. Lester, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How you doing? Good morning, man.
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I don't know if I ever told you, but I do Uber, and I was on hold, but I had a Cowboys fan in my car. He wanted to say something, but he's gone now. But he wanted me to tell you that we're going to beat them. This is his analogy. We're going to beat the Giants 40-0. He said he wanted a 40-0. So I was like, okay, I'll let him know. But I'm just calling in asking about the running game. Do you think that we might get 100-yard out of the running backs this weekend?
Out of the backs, yeah. I mean, they did last week, right? 100 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, if you get 100 yards and you played the whole second half from behind, I would imagine you would as well. I mean, now 49 was on one run by Miles Sanders, but that still counts. They still count that in the books. That means you have a running back that can go half the yards. So, yeah, I think 150 would be a nice number. You hope, you hope to be in the lead, right? And you hope to be able to run the football in the second half. And
that's why we need that good offensive line so we can run the ball, play action pass, and throw it to CD and Pickens.
Right.
That's my motto this year.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, Nick, that's all I got. Go Cowboys.
All right. See you later. Thanks for the call, Lester. Let's keep us moving here. One of the things before we get to the next line, we have another text line question. No name. 870 area code. Let's get the name in there, guys, so we can put you in there. But his question's similar to what Lester was talking about him. He's saying, is there an inside scoop on Jaden Blue? What has been going on? What will happen with him the rest of the season? I mean, I think he will learn the position even more and more to the point where they'll be comfortable playing him. Does that start this week? We'll find out. It would be nice to get him in the game if they can do it from an inactive standpoint. He was one of the guys that had to be inactive. So it's a complete thing. It's blocking, it's special teams. It's more than just getting the handoff, hitting the hole and running. It's more than that for him. And that's where the Cowboys have to feel comfortable doing that. If he's not out there, then there's a reason for it. And it's because he's not doing all of the things. I mean, Miles Sanders you could call as a progress stopper, because you want to see what Jaden Blue does, and he's got a lot more future and all that. But if he's not good enough, if he's not better than Miles Sanders in all of the ways, then he's not ready to do it. So I think you got to trust the coaches on this one. I'm with you. I wanted to see him play. I thought he missed some valuable time in those preseason games. Would have been nice to see him out there. He was there limited in that third game. Had a couple of nice-looking runs. Good cut. He's got some speed and quickness they just haven't seen from the position in a while. So he's a fun player to watch, and I think we all want to see him. But it's got to be the right situation. And I kind of applaud the Cowboys for not throwing him out there if he's not ready. Because that he plays a position that could hurt you in other ways if he's not ready to play. All right, Dylan, Northport, Florida's next.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
What's up, Captain?
Look at you getting to the text lines today, man. That's awesome.
I don't know. Chris just started it up the other day and just like let's dust this thing off, see if it's there, and I like it. I mean, if we can get 12, 13 calls with 3 or 4 or 5 text lines, that's a great show for me.
No doubt, man. Before I started calling in, I was texting because I was a little nervous, a little scared to call in, a little hesitant, and then, call in and kind of history from there. But yeah, text lines are awesome.
When have you been scared of anything?
Well, I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude trying to call and talk to my favorite podcaster, man. You know.
I appreciate it. But you say you go to Disney, like, because you're over there by Disney. You've been to Disney several times, right?
I have.
You brave the lines there. If you can get through there, then you're not scared of anything.
Well, my wife makes me, so that's why.
Okay. Oh, so you're scared of her. Got it. 100%. Okay. Now I understand, and that's a language that I can definitely relate to. And I know Chris,
if you're not scared of your wife a little bit as a husband, you probably don't have a healthy marriage. So I'll just leave it at that.
Chris?
Hey, so someone called and talked about Terrence Steele earlier, and
thank you, because I know that you agree too. All right, sorry. Terrence Steele.
Thanks, Chris. Terrence Steele, if he's your worst lineman, you're probably in good shape there. He's not bad at all. He's probably average to slightly above average. Hopefully, Guyton. I think Guyton's probably your worst offensive lineman right now, but he's obviously still developing, and hopefully he can get to where he's got to be. But talking about this game, Giants have a good defensive line, obviously, but it looks like just based on history and this first week, you can probably run on them. You can probably pass on them. So there's a good chance you'll be able to do kind of whatever you want on offense and just focus on what you want to knock the rust off, or I should say shave the rust off, sponsored by Gillette.
Okay.
And for me, I don't think – thank you again, Chris. Killing it today. If in this game, I'm looking to get Jake Ferguson the ball, man. I don't think CD needs to have a get-right game. I think CD is all right. I think he'll be all right. Ferguson's the guy who didn't have a great season last year. And nobody did, really. But Ferguson specifically, he had to block a lot more than he probably wanted to. He was playing through injury. So I'm looking to get him involved, man, as much as I can. And I want to get Pickens involved. Just not a ton of targets. You don't have to go crazy and force him the balls, but just give him a touchdown or a deep ball completion here and there. And I think he'll keep his head in the game. So, with all that said, if the Cowboys have 2 games in the schedule every year that I'm looking at, and I'm like, these are free wins. It's probably the Giants. I know it's a dangerous way to think, but until they step up and do something different against Dak Prescott, I think these are just they're blowout wins until I'm proving anything different or seeing anything different. So we'll go with 34-17 Cowboys.
All right, Dylan. Thanks for the call. Yeah, it would be great to see Ferguson kind of get even more involved. I know I keep talking about the Eagles offense and all that, but they're just so well-rounded. They have 2 receivers that are making north of $25 million a year. I mean, they're really good. They have they have a 1 and a 1A and a 1B, and that's kind of what the Cowboys have. Now they don't have a Barkley. I mean, no one does really, but they don't have that. And obviously, Dak is a different player than Hurts, but the Dallas Goedert part is really what I think helps them become even more complete. And I think Ferguson can be that, if not even more, to be that type of player. So you just can't cover everyone. And the way that they're going to have to try to cover CD and cover Pickens throughout the season, I think Ferguson has a chance to have a monster season statistically. And I know that the contract was written in a way that if he does hit some incentives, I think it's like 80 catches or 85 catches and makes the Pro Bowl or, some things like that where, he can really cash in even more. So, that's big to kind of get him going. But I would like to see him become a little bit more of a dynamic player down the field. I think he's got the capability to do that. Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida is our next caller. Robbie, what's up?
Boy, Nick, you keep having me follow all the captains. Last week it was Captain Rob. This week it's Captain Dylan. I just can't stand up to the pressure, man. What am I going to do?
Well, you keep calling and become a captain. That's what happens. I mean,
that's true, I guess. Hey, I'm just happy to like Dylan said, to talk to people that care. We had spaces last night, and it was great to see Davion and Dylan and all the people in there. I expected you. One of these days you'll be there.
Yeah. I was at a football game last night. So
more important.
Yeah, it was good times for sure. I didn't get a chance to, but I would like to go on there again. It's
a lot of fun. So I've had a question I guess for a couple of weeks now, and every time I call in, somebody's asking something else that brings my mind around that, and then I change my subject a little bit. So don't correct me if I'm wrong, but help me explain something or understand something. 7 months ago, football season ended. We were talking about how Guyton needed to be great for us to have a good season. Okay, training camp starts, and everybody's the biggest question mark is Guyton. Then we get a couple training camp practices, and Guyton's looking good, and everybody's happy, and then all of a sudden Guyton's hurt. And we start the season, and they're like, oh, Guyton's coming back. And they're like, oh, he's the second coming of Tyron Smith now, all of a sudden. And I'm like, what happened in the interval that we went from we don't know to this guy's awesome? I just wonder how that happened, and if you have any ideas. That's it.
Yeah,
I'll take it offline, brother.
All right, thanks for the call, Robbie. I haven't talked to those guys or people that have said that about the next coming of Tyron Smith. I haven't. I don't see or hear people saying that. I think I get what you're saying about, and because I was a little apprehensive at training camp when he was hurt and it looked like he was going to miss the season. At that point, I was like, I don't really know what you have in him. And then, great news. He's not going to miss the season. He may not even miss a game, and he didn't. But I was with you at that point. I was like, the Cowboys are just ecstatic about this, and I'm still kind of like, I don't know. I haven't seen it just yet. They were, they were just like, oh, thank God he's going to be there and all that. But I thought Nate Thomas played pretty well too. From what I've seen. So I think it was more of some stuff that we haven't seen maybe behind. Like as far as OTAs, minicamp, training camp, meetings, studies, the whole approach I feel like has been better for Tyler Guyton this year. I think he's kind of taken on a different mindset. Didn't like what happened last year. Didn't like how he's been, perceived. And I think he's taken more ownership to really become a better pro. Not just a better player, be a better pro. And you see that a lot from year one to year two. He's nowhere close to a finished product. He's still raw. I mean, he didn't have a great game the other day. Played a little bit better. I think what I liked the most was the mentality, the approach, the feistiness. Because once he kind of figures it all out, I think he's going to be. I think he is going to be a really good player. And I say that more after that game the other night than I had in the past because of what I've seen, and is willing to just kind of be tough, be nasty. Terrence Steele kind of went through that. Now, undrafted player, first round pick, totally different expectations. But Terrence kind of went through that a little bit too, and he got to a point where, oh man, this guy doesn't take anything. So from anyone, like he doesn't back down. And once he kind of got the confidence and the tools, combine it with that mentality and approach, now you're talking about a pretty good player. And I think the sky's the limit for Guyton. You want him to be better than Terrence Steele. I mean, and I think he can do that. Let's go to Rob in Vegas.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
None. I totally agree with the Guyton thing. He looks different because he looks like he's fighting. He looks more confident. And
there you go. Yep.
Those are one-on-one battles the whole entire game. And we've seen guys, technical is great, but it's just about fighting. You're basically fist fighting the other guy. And I think last year didn't have any confidence. And I say he's going up against grown men. And this year he looks like, I'm going to fight. And that's what you got to do, because all you're really trying to do is fight for 3-4 seconds or whatever it is.
Right.
And that's what it is. And he does look different. And listen, we could only hope. The Micah thing, Micah reminds me of a girl you meet, and all she does is talk about her ex-boyfriend. I mean, you're right. I try to watch him. I'm sorry. I have no respect for him. He's full of it. Is he a great player? Yes. But as Cowboy fans, we have to realize we had him for 4 years, and we still struggled on defense because the center of the defensive line wasn't good enough. Green Bay has that. Green Bay has a really stout middle of the defense. So now you throw this guy on the end. And if you watch the game, he looks a little bigger too. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's just heavier because he didn't practice. But I want to see what he does when it's freezing cold and it's December because he usually wears down. But listen, he's a great player. I'm not going to take it away from him. Do I wish I had him? Of course, but he's gone, so he's dead to me. That's just how I am. Once you leave the Cowboys, I don't root for players. I just root for the star on the helmet.
Yeah.
Because the players just come and go.
Yeah. Well said.
I don't think this Giant game is going to be as easy as everybody thinks. One, this team has to prove to me that they could beat somebody by 10, 13, 17 points. We thought they played good last week, and I think they played good, but they only scored 20 points. They didn't score in the second half. So I don't think this game is going to be 34-10 or 30. I think we'll win by 10. And if we win by 10 or more, I'm great with it. But I think it's going to be a tighter game. I think they're going to feed CeeDee Lamb. I think we've seen this in the past where, if a wide receiver complains or doesn't have a good game, they're going to feed him. I don't think they're going to run the ball as much as we think. I think they're going to throw the ball more. I just think that's what this team is going to lean on until I see a coach finally really lean on the run with the Cowboys. No, I think the strength is the passing game, but I think they win the game.
All right,
like a 30, 20, something like that.
Okay. All right, great. Sorry, Rob, I'm looking at Greg on the sheet. Thanks, Rob, for the call. Thanks for the pick. 30-20. That's kind of what we're seeing a little bit. Seeing a lot of 10-point games, some of it 18 to 20. But and I think I picked that on the site. I think I went with 10 points as well. 26-16 was my prediction from that we'll put on the gut feeling article out later today. Let's take one more break here on the Cowboys Storyline and be right back.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Jaydon, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Jaydon offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Jaydon provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit JaydonTheBrand.com and use code JaydonXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Jaydon.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave.
Back to Cowboys Storyline. The segment is presented by Yeti, officially licensed Yeti. Cowboys gear is available at Stadium Pro Shops, concession, and on Yeti.com. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Greg in Sacramento. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Nick. Speaking of Yeti, I can't wait to get mine, man. But I was watching the game yesterday, and I got a little bit of Micah envy. I miss the guy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's just nobody quite goes after the quarterback like him. But my real question is about the way Green Bay utilizes their tight ends. Like, you got this Tucker Kraft guy, and I was watching them just go to him. He had like maybe a touchdown or two, a bunch of yards, and I just think to myself, like, I think Jake Ferguson is better than him. And I mean, can the Cowboys utilize Jake Ferguson like that? Do you think that? I know it's early, game 2, right? But I mean, do you think we could utilize him like that? And then, what are your thoughts on that? And then just quick score prediction. I think it's going to be 33-10 Cowboys.
Okay. All right. I think with the tight end, it usually starts with usually. Now, I think the Chiefs did it differently because they had such a great mismatch. But most of the time, going all the way back, even back to the 90s with Novacek and all that, I mean, it all stems from pretty much running the football or having some pass catchers on the outside, and if not both. And I think with Green Bay, with Jacobs and the way they run it, I think they do a lot of great stuff. You know, they like to go deep as well. They got some speedy guys. And I think he's just kind of a benefit to that. But it's a lot of it, from what I saw, is some play action, and he's there. And the Cowboys try to do that as well. I think the better they get at running the football and being dangerous in the running game, the better it's going to be for Ferguson or any tight end or really any of the receivers, but especially those tight ends, because that's where you get in there and it looks like you're going to block, and then they can kind of leak out, and it's there. And it's also what benefits there, is if Pickens and Turpin and CD are taking their guy down the field. The better they can take their guy down the field, and so you're sucking in the defenders for the run game. You got safeties back there, worried about the pass. That middle is open. That's where the tight ends have to eat, and I think that's so. It's really kind of a benefit if they can run the football and get to be a team that you're worried about running the ball, and you're worried about how they go deep. That's where I think the tight ends can really, really excel. Let's go. I had a text line question. Sergeant Sue, who I'm sure he didn't mention this, but I'm sure he would say at ease, everyone. But his said the score prediction is 31-13, and his crazy prediction is Elam gets a pick. I don't know how crazy that is. He starts. Be crazy if he picks up another kid from the sideline and throws him. I don't think there's going to be kids on the sideline like he did at training camp. That was pretty awesome moment. But that's his prediction as well. That's our fifth text line question. And then we have one more caller. I don't even know who it is. It's guess the voice. So we'll see. So welcome to the Storyline. What's up, man? Or lady?
No, this is Lewis.
Lewis in Langston.
Yeah, my bad.
What's up?
So I'm going to say my little 2 cents real quick and get off real fast. I'm going to give Dallas 27 and New York Giants 17. But what I wanted to talk about, I haven't really got to listen, so you might have touched on this. But them bringing in Jadeveon Clowney, I would have loved for them to sign him. Hopefully, maybe they do it next week. They wanted to see how the pass rush goes this weekend, and maybe bring him in. But another thing I was thinking, maybe they bring in a big guy. I know he has some stuff going on with the Raiders, like Christian Wilkerson. So you get 2 big men that know how to play in the middle with him and the other guy they got from the Green Bay. And then you bring in somebody like Jadeveon Clowney would help shore up that front four. And I don't think neither one of those guys would be progress stoppers for the new guys. I think that would be better for us. The only problem I have now is what we're going to do with the DBs, with everybody being hurt. Are we just going to kind of wait it out till people start coming back off of IR, or we just going to ride with what we got? And so I'll leave it at that, and I'll listen and see how we go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. For the secondary part, they have some guys at safety in the practice squad. I don't think that they have brought in guys from the outside, so they're not looking at any kind of high dollar veteran if he's out there. They went with Charquez Bridges, Reddy Stewart. Those are the guys that they got from the outside. They've got some ones from the inside that they could bring in there. I think the question is going to be just how serious is the injury to Deron Bland. That's going to be the big deal. If they feel like this is going to be one they have to put him on IR, then maybe you do go to the outside and get someone that with a little bit more or a lot more experience than what they have. If it's just kind of week to week, then maybe they'll see how what they can do as far as piecing it together. I mean, the Giants don't have the most dynamic receivers in passing game. The Bears, they've got some players over there. They've definitely got some first round picks, and of course the number 1 overall pick a couple years ago, Caleb Williams. I don't know yet. You haven't seen them get dynamic yet. And Green Bay is we've seen it doesn't matter who they've got. We've seen them play well against the Cowboys. Then there's the Jets. There's the Panthers. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then the part about Clowney, signing him, I think it could happen. I said this earlier. Someone asked about Christian Wilkins. Just Google him and kind of what happened and some of the places he's been. Go all the way back to Clemson. I mean, there's things that about him that are more than just football that maybe not the best locker room guy. Just that's what I'll ask you to do. Just Google him and why it didn't work out in some of the places he's been, and what are some of the things that are being said about him. True or not, I don't know. But, I think a lot of teams are doing their homework on him. And also remember this, teams usually don't cut players and take like a $30 million hit on their cap unless there's a reason for it. So anyways, I just don't see him coming here or maybe anywhere at this point, but not really here. Not when they got Kenny Clark and they've got some other young guys. I think they'll be fine. And, Solomon Thomas played really well in that game against the Eagles. I want to see how he does in this next one. All right, guys, a lot of fun. Good show, 11 calls, 5 texts, a lot of participation from you guys. The captains were involved, so it was a great show. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you on Monday talking about Cowboys and Giants. See you then.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!